David Evanier wrote a book called Roman Candle, The Life of Bobby Darin, which is brand new, right, David?
Just out.
So we got that out of the way now.
All right, you're happy now? We mentioned the book.
All right, so Joel
Yes, sir.
has just come back from California where he saw the new Bobby Darin picture, which is starring Kevin Spacey.
Oh, Beyond the Sea.
Yeah.
How'd you like it?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I got thrown at first because I'm so immersed in Bobby Darin after making this Aces Back-to-Back package that all I can hear is Bobby Darin. Now, in the movie, unlike the Ray Charles movie where Jamie Foxx, lip syncs to Ray Charles music, Kevin Spacey does all the singing. So it took me a little bit to get into it. But he has a real interesting take on Darin in that there are devices he uses. He's like 8 or 9 years older now than Bobby Darin was when he died. And he plays him as a young man, and he sings, and he dances, and he does a complete theatrical, dramatic thing. And the movie's not factual. It's more of an impressionistic thing. So it took me a couple of minutes. Now, I don't use myself as a gauge because I would like to have a human see it. Somebody,
I'll go see it next week.
Okay, you seem like a human. So you go see it and you tell me what you think.
All right.
As I got into it, I enjoyed it. And the last third of the picture, Kevin Spacey really nails something.
He's an Academy Award winning.
Wait. So what is it?
Well, in other words, he captures Darin's end, I thought, very poignantly. And once you get used to the fact that he's singing, it just threw me. I'm not really a good guy to ask. I think the movie is a very interesting fantasy on the life of somebody who had a reality. He builds it on fact, but then he takes it out. And there's I'll tell you one thing. You know the movie Pennies from Heaven, that Steve Martin movie? There are elements of like a Pennies from Heaven
like
kind
all
of
that
thing.
jazz also, the Fosse film?
Well, I didn't really see all that jazz, but I did see Pennies from Heaven. And Spacey uses devices. It's not a standard biopic, so it's more interesting. And you got to bend a little bit to get into it. And once you get into it, this guy's something. And he's a good guy. I hung out with him a little bit. He's a good guy, and he really cares about it. It's a passion.
Yeah.
Took him 12 years to get it made.
Have you read the book Roman Candle? Have you read
I read it real quick when I got it. Well, I met David before, so I knew he was going to write a good book.
Is it similar to the picture?
No, this book is down the middle. It's right down the middle.
Have you seen it? David, have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
All right. How about you, Harriet? Did you see the film? All right. When does it open?
December 10th, I think, in L.A. and New York, and then the 17th in a few other places, and then, the end of December?
29th.
29th, and then it's on,
nationwide
release.
Now, Jimmy Scallia is here. Jimmy does an impression of Bobby Darin.
I do I?
Yeah.
No, I do an impression of an archivist. That's what I do.
I know.
Okay.
And he brings you sausage from Lodi, New Jersey.
No, you're kidding.
Yeah.
That's great.
Lodi, New Jersey. All right.
The Bobby Darin years seem to have been all turmoil, and he didn't get appreciated until afterwards, until after he died.
Well, I don't think he's really appreciated yet,
Yeah.
Is that right, Jimmy?
I think he's on a cusp right now of being recognized, legend status. I think now, especially once this film comes out, that helped, and then you have discs like, and books similar, to what's going on here, then people are going to realize, it only took like 30 years in the making, but I think now's the time.
I think the most amazing thing from little I know about it is that he knew he was going to die at a young age, and doctors did not expect him to live as long as he lived, so he worked with a passion much greater than most artists do, and I think that propelled him to hitting the heights he hit. He also was great in movies that weren't great movies. His performances were always brilliant, but the pictures weren't always great. So, his acting didn't get the acclaim it deserved, as well as his recording career.
But he was nominated for an Academy Award for
he didn't pick films that were going to really put him out there in a way where they were going to establish him. His reputation wasn't going to be established through these films, like he did a John Cassavetes film,
Too Late
Blues. It was in black and white. He was dying to do that film.
It's a terrible movie.
Well, but he wanted to do it because he loved John Cassavetes.
Right.
Let me ask you a question.
So did Ben Gazzara. They were real good friends.
Yeah.
Joe,
Yeah.
did you ever see him live?
Yeah.
Well, what did you think?
Where did you see him?
The Copa.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you know what he was. I mean, he was
Absolutely.
spectacular.
I knew what he was. I didn't like Sinatra at the time, so I was a perfect suspect.
I
Beyond the
mean,
Sea. You got Beyond the Sea in here? You don't have the disc? We don't
I got
have
it.
All right. Can
Well,
you?
I always bring an extra
Yeah,
disc.
we got to take the shrink wrap off, though. That's going to take you 10 minutes.
Watch this.
All right.
I'm from Philly.
All right, now, Bob.
Shrink
wrap.
Shrink wrap remover.
Can you get that off?
A nice man.
You know, you
came
killed
and
my
got it.
brother.
All right, so the Beyond the Sea is written by Jack Lawrence, and he was here last week. He's
Song.
92 years old,
Right.
and he had some things to say that he didn't even know that Bobby Darin was going to record the song, and he didn't write it this way. Bobby changed it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, he swung it. It was a ballad.
And he was so happy. He said that he never got a chance to thank him for it. They never spoke afterwards, but he made such money for him. You know, it was such a big success.
Hey, it's like Cole Porter said Sinatra when he did I've Got You Under My Skin. He said, I have never heard, I couldn't imagine I've Got You Under My Skin would sound like that because of Nelson Riddle. So it really, you know, it's collaboration.
Mac the Knife was a dirge originally, the Brecht Weil version of
Yes.
it, and Bobby just turned it upside down and made it really, really swing.
One of the
in a
top
way
10
one-
records of all time.
Right. Bobby did that with a lot of his songs. He did the unexpected always.
But a lot of people did feel that Beyond the Sea was even stronger as a song. It represented, more in terms of Bobby's repertoire than Mac the Knife.
They're both knockouts.
Thank you, ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen. Oh, it's a song.
There you go.
But I was getting a hand.
I'd like to take you on a nostalgia trip, if I may. All the way back to the year 1959. Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me, my lover stands on Tommy Sands and watches the ships that go sailing somewhere beyond the sea. She is there waiting for me. If I could fly like birds on high, then straight to her arms I'd go sailing.
That's Jimmy Scalia doing his version of Bobby Darin. Just joking. You're good, Jimmy. That's the Bobby Darin CD which Joel Dorn put together.
Bobby got very involved with the March on Washington anonymously. He never wanted credit. This was not radical chic what Bobby was into. It was the real thing. And it was a time when it wasn't so safe for a performer to take a social stance like that. And what happened was he got very involved with Robert F. Kennedy. Yeah. In fact, he introduced Bob Dylan's Blowing in the Wind to Kennedy, a song that Kennedy initially hated, but Bobby sang it for him on the plane over and over again until Kennedy came to love it.
Got it.
And
do you have that here? No. You don't have that, okay.
And then when Kennedy was assassinated, Bobby went into a tailspin. And he tended to feel that his the Vegas image, the tuxedo, the glitz, the glamour, was phony, and he went into an entire character change. He didn't want to wear the tuxedo. He dressed in denim. He took off his toupee, and audiences were very confused by the changes in Bobby. And Bobby then went to Big Sur. He lived in a trailer camp. He gave up all his possessions. This all came out of his involvement in the civil rights movement and the changes of the 60s. And guys like Sinatra, Bobby was always in the middle because Sinatra and the Rat Pack considered him a rocker. The rock guys like Mick Jagger thought that Bobby was true standard Vegas glitz. Bobby had a lot of integrity about everything he did, and he always did it with an enormous amount of emotion.
But that direction material I always tended to like because as a songwriter, it was very deep material, and it weathered pretty well over the years now. I think the public did not accept him at that point.
Yeah.
But if you listen to it now, I think some of that stuff really holds up well, and there's a number of cuts on the Aces back-to-back disc, and it's just some great rock stuff.
What do you think is the most amazing thing off the disc? Because we'll play it.
Off Aces?
Yeah. What do you think has got the Surprise or the
Can't Take My Eyes.
Great Magic. What is it?
Yeah, well, Can't Take My Eyes
Can't
Off
Take My
You
Eyes
is a
Off You.
killer cut, you
Oh,
know.
it's Frankie Valli song?
But they're all...
That's written
yeah,
by Bob Crew.
There you go. That's another one of Hesh's boys.
It's a great song, Joey.
That's her
I
two
know.
Bobbies.
So